Jon Morosi leading the league in information, and the field is set. Nobody is more thrilled about it than JP. There was one last qualifying game last night to determine the last spot in the World Baseball Classic, and we have a final bracket. JP, walk us through it.
Matt and Harold, good morning. Yes, I am indeed penciling out the field for the 2026 World Baseball Classic now that last night's game is complete between Germany and Brazil. Brazil, you see it there, lower right-hand corner, one of the 4 teams to advance via the qualifiers in the last several weeks. And this game happened last night, Tucson, Arizona, Brazil against Germany. But it was Germany getting out to the early lead. Simon Baumgart, who played his college baseball at Notre Dame, giving Germany the 1-0 lead. However, the answer, Dante Bichette Jr., ground ball, single, hard to play that with the bare hand, and it's Lucas Ramirez scoring on the Dante Bichette Jr. RBI single. And here is the aforementioned Lucas Ramirez punching that one to left field. And you see, I agree, Harold, you actually had Manny Ramirez in attendance. There he is, loving the base hit from his son, Lucas. And here is the final out, as Germany actually had the tying run at the plate in the 9th inning. But Brazil is able to secure their 6-4 win and a bid to the World Baseball Classic with the ground ball double play in Tucson, Arizona, as you watched last night on MLB Network. So we can't wait to see all of these countries emerging. And I'll say this, the qualifiers were all very, very competitive. We saw certainly the host Chinese Taipei having to have that big-time performance in the final night for them to make it. Brazil barely beating Germany. So the world, broadly speaking, is getting better and better as this competition raises up. And again, we are now inside of 1 year away from the 2026 opener. Team USA trying to get back to that final game against the defending champion, Team Japan, but a lot of games ahead. By the way, remember this, Team USA is going to be playing in Houston, Texas to begin things. You'll have Mexico there in that group. You'll have Team Italy in that group, managed by Francisco Cervelli with Ned Coletti as the GM of Team Italy. I cannot wait.
And Team Italy, by the way, of all the teams that qualify for the World Baseball Classic, the first nation team to sell out its merchandise on MLBshop.com is Italy. The stuff's always gone. Always gone.
It's beautiful merch, the gorgeous azzurri. So, of course, you do not see blue. You do not see blue in the Italian national flag, but it is the color of the national team because blue is the color of the royal family of the House of Savoy. Hence, we wear blue in Italy.
That's way too much information, wow. Cliff Clavin. Okay. Let's get you back to the baseball.
That's more than the Hallmark could give me.
Team Brazil would be considered, I suppose, an underdog in a very crowded field in the WBC. The Tampa Bay Rays considered an underdog this year in a much improved American League Eastern Division. However, are we sleeping on Tampa Bay? Are they too far under the radar?
You overlook the Rays at your own peril, Matt and Harold, and they are getting some health back. Shane Baz is back here as part of their rotation in 2025. I don't like this 82-win projection by Pacoda. At the risk of offending Pacoda, I disagree with you because I like this young lineup for the Rays. Shane McClanahan is back and healthy. And how about Curtis Mead? Talking about the World Baseball Classic, the great Australian Curtis Mead. 4 for 4 yesterday by Curtis Mead of the Tampa Bay Rays. There's a great swing by Mead. 4 hits to collect yesterday at that game against the Philadelphia Phillies. And I'll also mention this. Junior Caminero with another great performance for him in addition to Mead's 4-hit game. Caminero playing third base. There he is. Mead playing second more than likely as they begin this season for the Tampa Bay Rays. So you guys have touched on the injury concerns of the Baltimore Orioles, the injury concerns of the New York Yankees, the positional drama of the Boston Red Sox. Where's everybody going to play? Look at the Rays. The Rays just keep getting better. The Jays have their own drama with Bo and Vlad in their final year before free agency. The Rays drama has to do with where they're going to play, of course, at Steinbrenner Field this season, but very quietly, their pitching is getting healthy with McClanahan and Boz. And again, I mentioned the young position players, Caminero and Meade. Remember these names and clip off this segment when the Rays make the playoffs like they so often do. And by the way, Harold, I was pretty sure that in the segment beforehand, you talked about the Orioles and their pitching injuries. You might be right with your Alcantara take from yesterday based on the way things are playing out there with the Baltimore.
Before we get to that, I want to keep it with the Rays here for a second because you touched on this, the fact that Steinbrenner Field is the mitigating factor here. The Rays are out of the Trop.
Yep.
So all that pitching advantage, right-handed sinker ballers getting more extension. We've heard that discussion for years, somehow mysteriously based on the slope of the mound, which is supposed to be standardized, yet somehow there was an advantage at the Trop. This is the key, and this is why all the win total projections for Tampa Bay are not as relevant this year. Left-handed power hitters at Steinbrenner Field, I'm talking specifically about Josh Lowe and Brandon Lau, are licking their chops for .319 into the right field corner. And the gaps, the power alley in right center is shorter than it is in left center. So whereas it was difficult for left-handed power hitters at Tropicana Field, I mean, look, Brandon Lau has hit 21 homers each of the last couple of years in not full healthy seasons at the Trop. Imagine what he's going to be doing at Steinbrenner Field now. Now, if a lot of games get rained out or weather delayed, which is also a factor, right, in Florida in the summer, then all bets are off. I think it's impossible to project the Rays because of the ballpark.
I feel like Horseshack, right?
Okay.
Timeout. It's going to affect their pitching, too.
Sure.
I mean, look, not just the mound, but to know what the degree was going to be. It's going to be 75, and we're going to control the environment and all that. That ain't happening. As much advantage as the left-handers are now going to get at home as hitters, so will the visiting team facing your pitching.
That's right.
And the ball's going to jump in that ballpark in the summer.
And as we saw in the graphic a moment ago, with a largely right-handed dominant rotation.
Yes.
As you're talking about that. And I think this, you go back to when the Jays had, because of the pandemic, the year where they were splitting between Dunedin, Buffalo, there was all kinds of different situations there. That was, of course, one of Vladdy's big years offensively on a different topic. But the point is, when you're playing in the minor league venues, it's the unknown. Whatever data you have on spring training games at Steinbrenner Field, it's fundamentally different from the standpoint of the weather, humidity, wind, etc. in July. To Matt's point, we just don't know.
We don't know.
The Rays are entering this very uncertain time.
All right, let's move on. We got time for one last topic here, JP, and that's this. Tyler Naquin is going back to Cleveland to pitch. He's 33 years old. This is fascinating. Give us some more information.
So he retired as a position player. He had been part of their World Series team back in 2016. Very promising young player, and he had an elite arm. Look at that outfield assist, that throw from the warning track there to get the runner at second base. So we knew that Naquin had this elite arm, but the offense was at times a difficulty. Health was at times difficult. But after some time away from the game, he is coming back as a pitcher. And remember this, the Guardians have had some success. Anthony Gose was a major league outfielder away from the game.
I'm afraid no Gose.
Had a lot of success there. Gose is, during his time as a Detroit Tigers outfielder, Gose was able to get back to the big leagues on the mound with the Guardians. There's Gose showing his ability to develop. And he's still going, by the way. Gose remains a professional pitcher. So the Guardians have had success with this before, and now Tyler Naquin back in professional ball. The announcement coming yesterday. He is on the mound for the Guardians. Tyler, I wish you the very best in this new chapter of your professional baseball career.
Excellent. Looking forward to that. We're rooting for him to resurrect his career on the mound. JP, great stuff. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Thanks, you guys. All the best.